Hello there, a great evening to you and many thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a great and productive day. And now, welcome to our tonight's edition, a sneak peek to it. These are the headlines. The government of Rwanda has once again expressed its commitment to contributing to the peace efforts in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. On a Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente presided over the swearing-in ceremony of 4 military prosecutors. Good evening once again, and we are very glad to have your company tonight. As we start off our tonight's edition, the deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda, Ale Mukurarinda, noted that Rwanda is ready to provide any kind of assistance that would be needed to permanently solve the problem of insecurity in the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Adam Squizera starts us off tonight.
In a statement issued later on Monday, the National Security Council spokesperson Adrian said that the United States welcomes the 72-hour ceasefire committed by the parties involved in the conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. In November, this country asked the Rwandan Democratic Republic of Congo to withdraw their troops near the border. But the deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda, Ale Mukurarinda, noted that this wouldn't be possible due to the security crisis thus they are appearing near those borders.
ubikoze usobanura impamvu bikoze niba utanabikoze kandi kuko ari inama uba wagiriwe ukaba nabwo wasobanura impamvu uyu munsi.
When you do that, you explain the reason behind to that. But when you don't do that, you also explain it as well. Because it's an advice that you got, and that's why there you have to explain the reason. Today we can say that the concerns that Rwanda have been demonstrating was the armed forces that were near the border that had the target to destabilize the security, and later there was no any sign that those concerns was over. And on the other side, we saw the president of DRC in front of international media announcing that he's bringing the arms including drones and mercenaries near the border, which literally means that such request was not possible since it was found that Rwanda's security was to be destabilized.
ibyakomeza no guhungabanya umutekano w'u Rwanda bivuze ko rero icyo cyemezo cyari kigoranye cyangwa ubwo busabe bwari bugoranye igihe umutekano w'u Rwanda waba urimo uhungabana.
Despite the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, some of its senior officials have appeared in their speeches attacking the Rwandan government and its leaders, which Ale Mukurarinda finds as a hindrance of peace processes. That's why I say that we must analyze on when he reiterated that and on who he's addressing. By that time, we also analyze on that rhetoric speech, which literally not there to even bring peace, not be spoken by a president or any other, but not only putting it aside just because they're in campaigns and disregard it. Here we have to focus on who said that and also focus on how strong that rhetoric speech it is. The deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda points out that the government of Rwanda is ready to provide any assistance that will be needed by the government of DRC towards peace restoration in its eastern region. Anytime this issue, the Republic of Congo will need any assistance from Rwanda, particularly, or assistance from the other countries in the region. It was even found that they are ready to pledge it. It will be either on the regional level or bilateral level between the both countries, Rwanda and DRC. Rwanda is ready to sit with DRC in either South Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, Kinshasa, Bukavu or Rubavu to discuss towards seeking the sustainable solution of this issue in the Eastern DRC. The statement from the White House National Security Council spokesperson, Adrian, states that the main purpose of this 72-hour ceasefire is to facilitate the withdrawal of forces occupying the locality of Mushaki, Kilorirwe, and Kichanga in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the report. Moving ahead, the National Electoral Commission has announced that submitting candidatures for the contenders in the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections will begin May next year. This comes after the presidential order indicated that elections are set for July 14th and 15th, 2024. National Electoral Commission Executive Secretary Charles Munyaneza, while speaking to RBA, explained the arrangements of the highly anticipated general elections.
We are going to have these elections on 3 different days. On 14th of July, we are going to have elections for Rwandans in the diaspora, or Rwandans living abroad. You know, these Rwandans have also got a right to participate in presidential and parliamentary elections, just as they do participate in other issues, related to the life of this country. Then on the 15th, we are going to have what I would call general elections here in Rwanda for all of us, people registered and living in Rwanda. This time we shall be having elections for presidential elections, but also for 53 members of parliament. These 53 members of parliament normally come from political parties, but also from candidates who have stood as independent candidates. So in Rwanda, on 15th, we are going to have these elections. Then on 16th, which shall be the last day, we are going to have elections for members of parliament, 24 members of parliament from women, 2 from youth, and 1 from people with disabilities. So basically, that's what is going to happen in those 3 days. But before that, of course, we shall have campaigns for candidates, both presidential but also parliamentary candidates. And this period has been set by this presidential as being between 22nd of June and 13th of July 2024. This is a period within which the candidates that will have been approved by the National Electoral Commission through a process that is set by the law will start campaign, and as we go forward, we shall be announcing more details on these activities as they come.
Munyaneza further reiterated that digital means will be adapted in some of the proceedings of the elections.
Registration, yeah, there are going to be some adjustments here and there, but in terms of whether we shall go electronic in terms of voting, and we are still working on softwares to that effect. But as of now, we cannot say we are going to introduce that kind of technology, but we shall be informing the population as we move forward towards the polling date.
The presidential order of December 11, 2023, relating to elections of the President of the Republic and deputies was published in the official gazette on the same date. It indicates that the elections of the President and that of 53 deputies or MPs elected from a final list of the names of candidates proposed by political organizations or for the independent candidates will be held on the same dates. And moving ahead to other matters, on Tuesday, the Prime Minister, Dr. Edouard Ngirente, presided over the swearing-in ceremony of 4 military prosecutors. He emphasized the vital need for discipline as one of the values of the Rwandan army, urging them to uphold this standard, and also told them to ensure Rwanda's justice system is free from corruption. Olive Ntete with the details.
The military prosecutors who took the oath on Tuesday are Lieutenant Colonel Jean Bosco Kamirindi, Lieutenant Colonel Jean-Paul Mubirigi Rwamfizi, Captain Gaspard Ndayambaje, and Captain Jacques Kwizera. After receiving their oaths, the Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente urged them to continue to be characterized by the values of decency.
The government urges you to collaborate with other security organs and also the justice system and all other organs of the prosecution with the aim to prevent crimes and also prevent anything that would threaten the sovereignty of the country. In this sector, we also urge to avoid corruption. Every Rwandan, we urge them to avoid corruption. When we get to the army, we urge them to double the efforts. And when it gets to prosecution, we urge them to do more than that because it is in the justice sector. We truly believe in you, since you have proved to be of integrity. We also urge you to avoid malpractices and anything that will tarnish the reputation of the Rwandan army they will be serving, as we are one of them. That will also tarnish the reputation of the justice system that we always try to preserve. The government of Rwanda urges you to process all cases that will be working on at a faster rate, especially those related to the sovereignty of the nation. Cases should not delay to be resolved. They should be processed timely.
The Prime Minister also assured the cooperation of the government and urged them to be devoted to their duties and carry out their responsibilities efficiently. The newly sworn-in prosecutors pledged their contribution in complying with measures in place and delivering justice.
You know that our army is specifically specialized based on our conduct. Secondly, is to abide by the rules. Laws are in place and specific. Those laws govern us in our daily practices. I believe that the value that is based on the discipline that usually characterizes us, together with the law, it will assist us to work efficiently and timely.
The 4 military prosecutors recently sworn in were approved by the cabinet on July 13, 2023. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. Half of industrial processed water in Rwanda do not reach to the citizens, hence 10 billion Rwandan francs loss to the country annually. Nevertheless, measures for increasing access to clean water are in place, as after the completion of the Kanzenze water treatment plant, some of the residents emphasize on the availability of water. Prince Manzi brings us the details.
Dina Vumilia is a Bugesera district resident for the past 12 years. She knows better how the lack of water in this district is an issue.
We used to fetch water in Kigali, and it was expensive for residents here. If there was lack of water in Kigali, so it would be here. But currently, we access clean water. A jerrycan was 200 paid daily, and there was a discount of paying 120 per day for those who paid a monthly subscription. Now it is only a coin of 20 per jerrycan.
Bugesera and Kicukiro districts residents appreciate that they currently access clean water. They constructed for us tanks. We no longer lack water. We used to fetch swamp water, and it would affect our kids, and us as well, due to the lack of clean water. The Kanzenze water treatment plant has been operating for the past 3 years. The 2022 Auditor General report demonstrates that 11 water treatment plants in the 25 available in the country treat water at a rate lower than 75%. In the same year, the plants treated 68 million cubic meters of water, and the amount reached to citizens was 37 million cubic meters, approximately to 55%. This incurs that 45% of the processed water are wasted before reaching to residents, and this generated a loss of 10 billion Rwanda francs. Experts in water conservation and distribution find it critical to have measurements against water wastage.
I think the biggest word that we've learnt is accountability. And accountability is key, because if we stop wasting water, we'll reduce water scarcity in Africa. So one of the big problems we have in our part of the world, in East Africa, is our non-revenue water is more than 50%. That means 50% of water that is produced is being wasted. It's not being built. It's that high. So we have to invest in long-term solutions, so quality piping to stop leaks. We need to have quality water meters so that the correct water is billed to the client instead of under-registering. So people are really paying for water that they use. Because if people don't pay for water that they use, they'll waste it. So we really have to look at long-term solutions that are going to last, not for us, for future generations to come.
The Rwandan Infrastructure Minister, Dr. Jimmy Gasore, states that with the political will of the government of Rwanda, clean water distribution projects will be fastened and the country's goals will be met.
Cyihutirwa ni ugukomeza kongera imbaraga mu bikorwa remezo by'amazi.
The priority is to increase water infrastructures, be it where it is processed, infrastructures used for distributing, and enough necessities for hygiene and cleansing. Rwanda aims at having 100% of citizens accessing clean water from 82% currently. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
The elderly survivors, also known as Inhwaza in Bugesera district, extended their gratitude to the government of Rwanda that supported them in their hardships after the 1994 genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi. This was said as a Unity Club Inhwara Rumuri members celebrated with Inhwaza the end-of-year festive seasons.
The celebration were filled with joy, dance and sharing gifts between the Unity Club members and the Inhwaza elderly widows and widowers. For the Inhwaza, celebrating the festive season with the leaders is a sign of a caring leadership and share their gratitude to the government that always support them. When the festive season arrives, I remember that when we used to have children, they gathered for the festive season and they would celebrate. This is the same when you come here. We feel that we are parents again. We are very grateful to the beautiful country and leadership we have. Even though they are aged, the Inhwaza elderly widows and widowers were able to provide the community health insurance for 25 neighboring families, as explained by Françoise Muhoza, who leads the center. Recently, they provided community health insurance for 25 neighboring families. They are always excited in integrating with the neighbors, and we thank you for all the support allocated to us. The executive secretary of the Unity Club, Regine Yamuremye, states that celebrating the festive season with the Inhwaza, it aims at supporting them and make them feel at ease and have hope.
Iyo turi iruhande rw'ababyeyi nk'abariya ukabona baseka tukabona turi kumwe tubyina n'ibyishimo bikomeye.
When we are closer to these parents and we see them dance and enjoying, we are very happy. We cannot replace the children that they lost, but we can help them in enjoying and get happy. As these Inhwaza say, when we come here, it is a sign that they are not alone, a sign that they have a great caring country and they have hope of aging well.
Kibahozaho ijisho ndetse bakaba bafite icyizere ko bazanasaza neza nk'uko nayabwiye.
On 3rd July 2018, the Bugesera Home for the Inhwaza elderly widows and widowers was launched by the First Lady, Her Excellency Janet Kagame. It was home to 35 Inhwaza and the number increased to 86. Currently, there are 61 Inhwaza as 15 passed away and 10 requested to return to their families.
During the official opening of the Police High Council, the Minister of Interior, Alfred Gasana, emphasized the need for the National Police to intensify efforts, particularly in safeguarding people and their belongings as the festive seasons of 2023 approaches.
The base of these discussions was the security of individuals and their belongings taking center stage. The meeting convened all levels of police personnel with the objective of advancing the professionalization of the force to align with the evolving policing landscape, as explained by Inspector General of Police, CG Felix Namuhoranye.
We want to evaluate our performance during this year that we are about to end, and also to plan how to end it well, with people and their possessions in safety, not facing issues, most especially issues related to security. This is why the meeting is essential as we evaluate our performance and future duties to carry on. Issues to discuss include security situation and also our conduct in the force and their consequences. We will also discuss on the journey that we are in to make the police organ a professionalized force and see how a professional security organ operates. The organ has been working on it and we are working on making progress on that.
The Minister of Interior, Alfred Gasana, reminded the police that in the end of the year, there are often acts that threaten security, and he urged them to be vigilant.
Kwitegura gusoza umwaka w'ibihumbi 2023 nkuko tubimenyereye hirya no hino mu gihugu
You need to prepare on how to end the year 2023. As we usually know, residents will be celebrating festive seasons and also preparing to start the year 2024. These activities that are done during festive seasons include concerts of music artists, concerts of religious institutions, and many more. During the period of the end of the year, also there are crimes that are mostly committed, such as theft, assaults, and road accidents from drunkenness, and more of that. The contribution and the role of the National Police is highly needed to ensure that we end the year well and in peace, and also start the new year in peace as well.
During the Police High Council, the conduct of policemen was also discussed, with a call for improvement. Notably, 45 officers were recently dismissed, as published in the official gazette. Additionally, during the council, there are plans to share the list of those dismissed within the National Police of Rwanda. Olive Nete, RTV News.
And from this, we come to the end of our tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news production, as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us. And I'll say up until next time, stay safe and have a great evening.